going to stay in the Old Testament today in the book of one of the minor prophets by the name of Amos. And in chapter 3, verse 8 of his book, it asks, "The sovereign Lord has spoken. Who can but prophesy?" Now, God is always speaking to his people, but of course, never in a manner that contradicts his word. There's a group of people who speak on his behalf, helping God's people to understand what it is that God is doing in their lives and in the life of the church. This is called prophecy, and those who prophesy are called prophets. Now, the Bible warns us not to despise prophecy, but to judge it to ensure it is sound and biblical. Now, what is God speaking into your life right now? What is he speaking at your church fellowship? Now, let's go to 1 Corinthians 14. Paul had a lot to say about prophecy. We're going to start in verse 26. "What then shall we say, brothers and sisters? When you come together, each of you has a hymn or a word of instruction, a revelation, a tongue, or an interpretation. Everything must be done so that the church may be built up. If anyone speaks in a tongue, 2 or at least 3 should speak, one at a time, and someone must interpret. If there is no interpreter, the speaker should keep quiet in the church and speak to himself and to God. 2 or 3 prophets should speak, and the others should weigh carefully what is said. And if a revelation comes to someone who is sitting down, the first speaker should stop. For you can all prophesy in turn, so that everyone may be instructed and encouraged. The spirits of the prophets are subject to the control of prophets. For God is not a God of disorder, but of peace, as in all the congregations of the Lord's people." Now, those verses tell us that God wishes to speak through his servants in such a way that people know they have heard from him. Is that dynamic present in your life? What is God saying to you today? God wants you to know. And if he doesn't tell you what his will is, then there's no possible way for you to do it. All right, that's it for today. We got to wrap up. I wish I could say more, but come on back tomorrow and we'll do it all over again.